Mr. Summers, do you have? I'm not holding you to this, and you don't even have to. If you're off, that's fine. You're off. But amount of time, because what I'm trying to do now is determine whether I should order them dinner. If we are going to be here till 8 with your witnesses, I'm going to go ahead and order the jury dinner, and we'd have to take their orders now. Unless we're going to take another break, and I prefer not to take another break. So I take their orders now, have it delivered around 6:30, give them a short break to eat something at 6:30 if we're going to go till 8.
Your Honor, I'm probably only going to be about an hour and a half with my witnesses.
Okay. Obviously, that's not taking into account cross-examinations, but I don't suspect that the cross-examinations would be too long. Okay, yeah. So I tell you what.
Not yet.
Not yet. Let's see where we're at. If I need to take a short break to take orders around 5 o'clock, we'll do that. All right. Let's see how far we get. 5:30, and he's just making sure he has menus in case he needs to use them. But as soon as he's done with that, is the state ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
Is the defense ready?
Yes, sir.
All right. And so is Steele here?
Yes.
Steele's here?
Yes.
All right. All right, Deputy State, let's go ahead and get the jury. Jury is present and seated. Everyone else may be seated at this time. Gentlemen of the jury, welcome back. As you may recall, prior to the break, the state had rested their case. Now is the time that we turn to the defense and allow the defense to present his case. Mr. Summers, are you ready to call your first witness?
I am, Your Honor.
You may do so.
The defense calls Detective Christoper Steel.
Christoper Steel. Welcome back. I'll just swear you back in an abundance of caution if you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear any testimony you give in this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do, sir.
Thank you, Sergeant. If you'll follow the bailiff back to the ramp that leads up to the witness chair, watch your step. Go ahead, have a seat, make yourself comfortable.
Thanks, sir.
Mr. Summers, you may proceed.
Good afternoon again, Detective Steel, or Sergeant Steel. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Just a few more things to go over with you. Did you attempt to interview me after any of these events on after March 13th?
No, sir.
No. Do you have a standard operating procedure on when to allow questioning or interviews by of a witness into a report or a investigation?
I can't quote you an SOP number on that, but I can tell you as far as once you've retained legal counsel, we should be going through your legal counsel for that, so there wouldn't be any further contact from there forward.
I'm talking more specifically outside of Miranda. Does the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office have a standard operating procedure or guidelines for allowing witnesses to be interviewed at a hospital?
There is nothing that I know of in policy saying you can't talk to someone at a hospital. It's a pretty normal occurrence.
Do you know if there is a standard operating procedure about how to question witnesses at a hospital?
I could not quote it for you if there is. We have over 900 something SOPs. I unfortunately can't quote them all for you.
Did you look up those SOPs when you were putting the investigation together as to whether or not a witness could be questioned or how they would be questioned at a hospital?
I didn't interview you, sir, so no, I wouldn't have looked into that at all.
Did you check with your SOPs of whether or not to allow an interview taken at a hospital into the investigation?
There would be no SOP, I can tell you, that I would be aware of that would ever restrict us from going to a hospital to talk to somebody. That would, again, that's normal practice.
Okay. Do you recall the interview details that were given by myself to Detective Remia?
If you wanted to refer to a transcript, I thought would probably be helpful, but no, I can't.
In general, if I said, did you do this, would you recall that brief statement made in the interview?
No, sir. That would be Detective Remia.
Okay. Did you listen to that interview?
I have listened to it, yes.
Okay. Do you agree that there's a number of statements made by me in that
Objection,
interview?
Judge Leading.
finish the question, but try not to lead the witness.
Do you believe that there, or do you recall a number of statements being made by me in that interview?
I cannot say that I recall your interview in any great detail.
Okay.
It was not one that I would have been overly prepared for today since I wasn't testifying to it.
Did that interview have any impact on the investigation that you conducted?
The confession does have relevance, as well as the video confession and the written letter confession. Yes, all those things play in as a factor into whether or not to charge, if that's what you're asking.
Yes. In that interview, let me ask it this way. When you went with Detective Remia to search for the phone in Hillsborough/Manatee County, did you utilize any of the directions that I gave in that interview?
No, I wouldn't have been aware of any details at that point. No.
Okay. Do you know if the location that we were in Manatee County was anywhere near the location of where you found the phones?
Obviously, you were there at some point because the phone was there.
Let me rephrase. Are you aware that we stayed in a secluded place for 30 hours that weekend?
I believe during at least the statement at the District 4 office, she did make reference to, yes, y'all being together in the van for an extended period. I couldn't quote you the exact number of hours that she stated.
Okay. And did she tell you where that location was?
I don't think she could tell me an exact location. No, that was the purpose of us driving down there so she could show us where the phone was at.
Did you recall ever visiting a location that had a piece of construction equipment next to a large tree and a ravine and a farm?
I can't say I recall what you're talking about.
Okay. Do you recall how long the trip through Manatee and Hillsborough County lasted when you were doing the phone search?
When I was doing what search?
Searching for the phones?
With Elisa?
Yes.
We drove from the District 4 office to State Road 62, and I cannot say that I'm overly familiar with that in any way, as far as I've made very few trips into Manatee County, considering I have no reason to, other than this case. Rough guess would be 30 to 45 minutes, but again, that's a very rough guess, trying to remember back, that location.
I don't have any further questions, John. I'll pass the witness.
Thank you. Any cross-examination of this witness?
No, Judge.
All right. May this witness be excused by the defense? I'm sorry. I apologize. Released by the defense.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. State, released.
Agreed, Judge.
You may step down. You may be released as a witness at this
Thank
time.
you, sir.
Mr. Summers, I'll ask you to please call your next witness.
The defense would call Lisa Mathieson.